Man, there's so many distractions I have in being this engineering work. I'm always having to. There's phone calls. There's people coming in my office and talking to me. There's paperwork stacked from here to all over the place, and I got so many distractions. It's amazing I get anything done in one single day. I mean, I've got deadlines, and I don't say how in the heck I'm going to meet these deadlines. How in the world am I going to remove all these distractions so I can concentrate just for one whole day and get this project out the door? How can I get rid of these distractions? Let's talk about that in this video. If you're like most engineers and most project managers, we're constantly being distracted. There's constantly someone making a phone call, or there's something on the internet that you got to look at. There's an email you got to read. There's someone walking in the door to talk to you. There's always a distraction. There's books you got stacked on your table that you like to look at and read some articles on. There's other projects that you're reviewing. There's so many distractions, and it keeps us from meeting our deadlines sometimes. Sometimes it's very difficult to meet any deadlines just because of distractions that we have in our daily lives. What I want to talk about is 5 different ways to get rid of some of those distractions so that you have the time to concentrate long enough to get your projects done on time, on schedule. Let's talk about the first way to get rid of distractions. And that is probably the easiest one of them all. And that is, as you go through your day, even before you get to work, is to ask yourself, what am I doing right now? Is that the best use of my time and my talents? Am I doing what I should be doing right now? If the answer to that question is no, well, the solution is pretty obvious. You need to stop doing whatever you're doing and get back to working on what you should be doing. Throughout the day, I often find that sometimes people like to come in the office and talk about anything besides work. And I generally ask them, can we talk about this after hours? Or they come into the office and talk about a problem that isn't a major issue right now that we can delay to some other time while I have some pressing priorities that I need to do right now. Let's say you have a report that's due. Wouldn't it be better use of your time to go ahead and be writing the report instead of reading about how to write the report? Always the first step to anything in writing is to actually put words on the paper, whether it's on the computer screen or on a piece of paper. So that's the first way of getting rid of most of your distractions, is just simply asking that question. How can I best use the time that I have? The second way to remove distractions is really to have physical reminders around your desk or around wherever you're at, in the field or at home or wherever you may be, that reminds you of what you should be doing at this moment in time. Let's say you've blocked out for an hour this morning that you're going to be doing nothing else but writing a report. Well, if that reminder's on your computer screen for that morning, whenever you're doing anything other than writing the report, you can look up on the screen and say, shouldn't be doing that. I should be working on this specific report right now. And so you get back to track on doing that. This often leads to what we call time blocking. Time blocking is a very useful tool for engineers. It means that during these times of the day, I do nothing else besides doing that one single task. There's other times of the day that I can do other things, but during this specific time, this is all I'm going to do. Now, some of the things that you can use as physical reminders are such things as a planner, just a basic little book that lays out on your table, and each day is marked what you're going to be doing for that day. Another way is using the computer, actually, and some of the free software, such as Google Calendar, is an excellent tool for time blocking. There's several other types of calendars that you can also use on the computer or even on your own smartphone. Most smartphones also have calendars on them, of which you can put time blocks in there that you can follow along, whether you're in the office, at home, on a job site, or wherever you may be at the time. Time blocking is an essential tool to getting rid of distractions in your daily life. The third tool that we can use in order to get rid of distractions is to understand that for most of us, we may think it takes an hour to write a report, but it may take actually longer. In reality, how long it takes to do something may be much longer than what we think it would take. In other words, we don't often take into account the prep work that we need to have done in order to do that particular task. Some of us have to even get into the zone of doing that type of work. Let's say you're moving from calculations doing pipe analysis, and now you're going to move over to writing a report about asphalt design. Well, those are two different subject matters, okay? And the difference in the two can be quite drastic. Although it may take you to write a letter for an asphalt design, maybe 2 or 3 pages long, maybe an hour, hour and a half. But to switch from doing that design of a hydraulic analysis over to doing a structural analysis of an asphalt section, it takes a little bit of time to just switch over. And that's what we need to understand, that when we're blocking out times, we need to make sure we give enough time for the transition to the new line item. Now, what I often do in my time blocking is I actually leave a gap of about 20, 30 minutes between each of the major blocks during the day. This allows me to make that transition over to the new specific time block that I'm going to. If I go back to back, then I'm not giving myself adequate enough time. The fourth technique in order to remove those distractions is actually getting rid of things that you really don't need to be doing, especially during the workday. Let's say that you have a tendency to go do social media a lot. You like to go on to Pinterest, or you like to go over to YouTube and watch their videos, or maybe you like to go over to LinkedIn and read what's going on in there, or whatever other Facebook or whatever item it is. All these things, all these type of social media can really cause you to lose a lot of time. What I try to do is not do any of that during the daytime, except specifically to what I'm doing for my work. So let's say you've been watching what you've been doing for the past week, and you notice that each day you spend at least an hour just roaming around in the social media. That means you've lost 5 hours, 6 hours or so in a week, almost a full day of work just because you've been tooling around in social media. That's a good example of where you can free up a lot of time. Just like social media, there's also other things that you can remove that are also distractions in your daily routine, such as getting phone calls throughout the day. You might want to take a period of time that you take phone calls, first thing in the morning, later in the morning, maybe in the afternoon for an hour each. And then throughout the rest of the day, unless it's an emergency, you just send them all off to voicemail, and then you can catch them later and call the individual back. That's a distraction, just simple phone calls. You think that just by picking up the phone and talking to somebody, it'd only take 5-10 minutes. Most phone calls take a little longer than that. And first thing you know, if you're taking every single call, you're not getting any work done. And so it's best to just simplify the phone call into a voicemail. You know what they're looking for. Then you can call them back during your specific time and give them the answer and then move on, okay? This is what we call just removing items that you really don't need to be doing in order you can free up more time. Before we move on to the fifth way of removing distractions, I know you probably also want to know more about how to run an engineering business, how to manage an engineering business, how to manage engineering projects, how to be a good leader in an engineering design team. All those videos are available on our channel. We would like for you to go down below, right down there, and subscribe to our channel. Also, we'd like for you to go way over there and hit that bell over there, and so that you'll be notified every time we upload a new video. Each video is about 8 to 12 minutes long and well worth the few minutes to watch so that you can learn a little bit more about how to manage your business and how to be a leader in the engineering industry. Now, that fifth way of removing distractions, and that is really something I see quite often on all engineering desks, and that is to remove that clutter. Okay? I don't know how many engineering desks and offices I have seen where you go into their office and it's just packed with drawings, rolls of drawings everywhere, stacks of files, stacks of books, stacks of this and that. You can't even see the top of their desk. And they'll say, "Oh, it's well organized. I know exactly where everything is on my desk. Don't touch it." That's clutter. All right. What you should have is some sort of file system. Put all those files and things away in a folder, in a drawer, and then work on one project at a time. One project at a time. It keeps you organized. It keeps that distraction of those other projects. Yeah, you have a lot of work to do, okay? And it's all here on your desk in a folder behind a drawer, so it looks well organized on your desk. And you only have one project laying on your desk at one time. You finish the task, and then you can put it away, see what the next task is, pull that folder, and get it down, and then work on that task, each one separately. It keeps you focused in your mind, and it keeps those distractions away just by decluttering your desk, your office, your workspace, your work area. Declutter, and you'll be amazed how little distractions you will have then just by being a well-organized individuals. I once had a supervisor who told me, he says, "Yeah, if an engineer's desk isn't cluttered, he isn't doing any work." Well, that's false. No, that's not the case. A well-organized desk, everything in its right place, and files put away where they're supposed to be, actually means a lot, and it represents an engineer who's got it together, and he's doing a great job. And he probably gets more work done than that guy with the cluttered desk over here with stacks of drawings behind his desk, inside of his desk, on top of his desk, in front of his desk. In fact, you just kind of wonder what his home looks like because of it, because you don't want that kind of office. And if you got that kind of office, spend this weekend and declutter, clean up a little bit, and get organized. So those are the 5 ways of removing distractions. I know you've gotten value out of this video. Like I said, subscribe to this channel and make sure you go to that bell and ring it there and make sure so you get notified. Also, you'll find way over there another video that we recommend that you watch in our list of videos. So go ahead and watch that video next. Until the next time, keep on growing your knowledge as an engineer, as a leader, and as a manager. Learn to be a better project manager. Learn to be a project engineer. We'll see you on the next video.